So I thought what I'd do is make a little video of swatching some of my gold watercolour paints, and what I'm going to do is use this very beautiful indigo painted paper, which has come from Shepherds of London Book Boundary. I've popped the link in the newsletter. So each page has been painted with this beautiful indigo blue. It's one of my favourite colours, it makes me think of the night sky, and it's also been bound. So there are 90 leaves, so it's 180 pages, and what I'm thinking of doing is taking part in this year's 100-day challenge on Instagram, where you make something every day for 100 days. I'm not sure I'll manage it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is use this paper for a little bit of gold swatching. Now, one of the very first gold metallics that I started to use was Colero Fintech, and they're often used by calligraphers. So they put these into their calligraphy pens. As you can see, they're pretty well used, and you can buy these individually, or as I've done, in a complete selection of golds. And I'm going to start with these because they do need a little bit of water adding in order to activate them. So I'll add some water and let that sit on the paint for a while and come back to it whilst we have a look at one of the other golds that I have. One of the other early handmade metallic watercolours that I started to work with were those produced by KJ Design, which you can find on Instagram. She lives in Blackpool in the UK, and you can see that these became quite a firm favourite. So I'll just show you the golds that we have here. These are very creamy. Now, I tend to use gold on white paper. I don't often work with dark paper or black paper. So that one is royal gold. And there's another one here which she calls golden. And what I discovered as I started to explore what was available is that there are many, many shades of gold, some of which are more yellow than others. Some have a kind of greenish tone to them. Some are quite pale, which is similar to the gold you would find in jewellery. My mother was a jeweller. She was the manageress of the jewellers, and the different carats, 9 carat, 18 carat, 21 and so on, varies according to the metals that the gold is mixed with and produces a different colour. I do tend to like these very rich golds, so let's have a look at the Fintech one now that it's kind of absorbed some of the water. This one's called gold Arabic, I think. So you can start to see the difference in the colours. And I guess it's all just a matter of preference. Activate one of the more kind of golden toned ones, just so you can have a look at that one and see the difference between the two. And let that sit for a minute so that it can absorb the water. One of the other branded makes of metallic watercolour paint that I like is by Schminker Horadam Aquarelle. So this is their gold, both in a tube and in a pan. Again, you can see that this one's been pretty well used, which is more indicative of the frequency with which I apply gold to my paintings. This pan has done a lot. So you can see this gold, which is one of the lighter golds, closer to this light gold from KJ Cameron. I'll add a bit of the gold from the tube, and you can see if there's much difference between the pan and the tube. Really just a preference around whether you like working with paint out of a tube or not. Obviously the tube's bigger, so you get more of it and it'll last longer. When I first started making art, I was really surprised to discover that watercolour gold was even a thing. I had no idea that it was possible to get metallic watercolours, frequently made through blending mica with the pigment. And coming back to the Fintech gold here, so you can see just by leaving it a minute or so, it does activate the paint and it becomes quite creamy. So I'll put this one next to the Arabic gold, give you an idea of the difference in the hue. There you go. And another one is gouache. I don't work very often with gouache, primarily because I love the different textures and shades you can get with watercolour. And gouache tends to be flat and matte. But the gold gouache I really like. There's quite a lot of mica in this. I don't know if we can get the light on that to see the shimmery bits. And you can probably see that this is a bit of a darker, richer gold. what I would do is allow these to dry and add another layer to bring some depth to the gold. So that's the gouache. And here's another one of my absolute favourites. This is from Bristle & Brush. I've got so many of Ezra's handmade paints, and you can see from this little pan that it's well used. And a friend of mine gave me a gift not only of this set of metallics but also one of Ezra's other palette selections. So you can see that we've got gold lustre and copper, silver lustre and pearl lustre. So what I'll do is just activate the watercolour pan. Look at that, so gorgeous. Bit of a lighter gold by comparison to some of the others, but really kind of dense in its tone. Just beautiful. So that's become a top favourite over the last couple of years. Ezra started making paint. Here's another one, which is another handmade gold. This one is really thick. You can see it making the dents. So you kind of lift a little bit off. Apply some more water to it. Probably made that a bit too thin now. So let's get a bit more pigment. This is another very rich gold. That's been called Alchemist. Very lovely little gold tin with Irish seal on the top, all the way from the US, that one. So what I did in May of last year was take a class with Tony Watts to learn about manuscripts, gesso and illumination, working with gold leaf, and we worked with various sizes, garlic size, acrylic size, Instacol, which is a manufactured product, and also Tony showed us how to make manuscript gesso. So I've now kind of become very hooked on working with gold leaf to add to my love affair with gold. But hopefully you can get a sense of the different golds here. Let me know if you'd like to see more swatching videos. I've got quite a collection now of various paints, both manufactured by the major brands and a lot of watercolour paints that's handmade by various artisan producers. And I really love the fact that pigments and minerals are being sourced and ground and made into paint. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing any more of these.